Hello, it's Gemma from the Crafty Little Gem, and we are making this today. I'll just move that up. Oh, that's right. Just see if I can turn it on. It is the light box that I've made with an interchangeable frame, so you can put any picture in that you want. If you want to make this, you need to head over to Anne Melvin's channel, Positively Papercraft, and you need to get yourself some napkins and get them laminated first, and then pop back, and then we can make this box. So this is what you are going to need. Turn that off. Pop that there. So we'll start with the main bit first. And what you will need is a sheet of 11.5 by 11.5. So on this, you will be scoring at, on every side, you'll be scoring at 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, and 2 1/2. You're then going to turn and do exactly the same, 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 1 3/4, 2 1/2. But then what you're going to do is, once you've done that on all 4 sides, you're going to come back in, and on the opposite side, you're going to just going to score at 3 down to the second score line. And again, you're going to do it at 8.5, and you're going to come down just to the second score line. You then want to whip your paper right round and do it again at 3 and at 8.5. Okay, so we'll get rid of that for now. We'll come in and we will fold and burnish all of our score lines, except for the 2 that are just the second line down. So basically what we're doing is just creating a frame, and we're going to be popping some lights. You can either have the lights coming through from the back like I have on this one, or I'm going to show you a different way today to do it if you've got these other battery packs like what I have got. So what I would do is, the colour that you can actually do it in patterned paper, this bit, it really doesn't matter, but I kind of thought if you've got a couple of Christmas napkins that you've laminated and done, you could actually change them every day to something a bit different. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut down that score line that was just to the second score line, and then you're going to cut across. Now what we're going to do is, on this bit here, we're actually going to cut on this score line to there. You're then going to come in on the other side, so you've cut that full bit away. You're then just going to come in and cut this to make that into a tab, just so when you're popping that together, you've got a bit more of a stable corner. So this side will come in this way, and you're going to cut up that first one there. You're then going to cut up the second score line there. You're then going to take that little bit away from the middle there, and then you can come in on this side and cut that from that corner down and out. What you're going to do then is just cut that into a little tab again, just so you've got that little tab that will help you join it up there. You're going to do exactly the same on this side. I'm going to come in there, and you're coming in to take that score line away. Okay. And pop that out the way. Again, it's easier to come in on the one that you're going to cut to the last score line, and there, and then just take that bit so it's gone and out the way on that score line, and then out to that bit, and then you're coming in and just making that into a tab. So what I would do is I'd just make sure you've taken that score line away from all of these edges, because what you'll find is when you go to fold it in, it actually, you need it to sit nicely in there, and it won't if you don't make sure that you've actually taken that score line away, which I think everything else is fine. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to glue these little bits up. Pop a bit of glue on. You will need some magnets for this project as well, and again, it's up to you how many you decide that you want to keep it in place. I've just gone for 4, so I've got 2. I'll have 8 altogether. I'll have 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom, because I found that was quite enough. So we're just popping these corners and getting them to grab. Okay, and last one. There, like so. I'm just going to then come in with my bone folder and make sure they are glued down really well. Then I actually have the bits that we've cut off at a funny angle. I actually have one of those as my top and my bottom. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put some glue on these bits. And on this bit here. Pop it this way. I'm going to fold it up and in half, and then just straight down onto itself, and just hold it there for a few minutes to glue into place. Again, this side, fold it in half, push it against the side, and it'll just go down nicely. So here is where we're going to add our magnets. And they are very, very strong. There's even attached itself to my ring. I've got my 4 magnets there. I am going to grab some glue dots. These are really small mini glue dots. And we're just going to pop them on the back here, and then it's easier for me just to take off when I need to use them. So I've just got those on there like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take them, and I'm actually going to put one in that corner. But you're not coming over this line here. You're not coming over where that would connect to that. And again, I'm going to come down to in that corner. And I want that one to be down there like so, making sure that they are in place. So then the next thing that we can go ahead and do is just fold these over. Like so. Again, all I'm doing it is how I did, put these sides in, folding it in half and pushing it down, and then I'm just grabbing each side to glue them into place and just holding it slightly just so it's going to grab, and you've got some really nice neat corners then as well. Okay, we can move on to this side. And again, like the sides, just fold it up and push that back nice and neat, and just then just push those sides in to hold them all in place. Okay. Like so. So we can pop that to one side for the moment. The next thing that you're going to want is some, pop those there, is some red card. Now, this measures 6.5 by 6.5. So that is actually the size of our outer frame. And I actually measured this to the size that the actual napkins were. So I actually laminated my napkins, and then I cut round each of the squares, and obviously that told me how big my box needed to be. But what we're actually going to do is we are going to come in with our trimmer. You're going to line it up at 1/2 inch on your trimmer, and on here, I think it was, you're lining it up to 1.5, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut down to 15, from 1.5 to 15. You're then going to turn it, line it up again to 1/2 inch on this side. If you've got a trimmer like mine, mine's actually got a little slit this side so I can actually line it up, but again it should be just at 1.5, and you're cutting it down to 15 centimeters, and that will just give you 1/2 inch again. And you're just going to carry on doing that on all 4 sides down to 15. And again, if you do it my way and actually start in the middle and push to the sides, if you push slowly, you can actually feel where it's actually connected, because it gives a little bit more. And all I've done is I've not gone far enough with that, so I've just cut that side, and that is your border for your frame. So what you need is you need 2 of those, which I have obviously gone ahead and done another one, and they should be exactly the same size, and you'll have the middle cut out. So now what we're going to do is you're going to lay one straight on top of your box, like so. Then you're going to come in with your magnets again, keeping the frame as it is, making sure they're all square, and then you're just going to attach your magnets like so. If you have one, all I do is press one on my thumb, and then I just hover it where I think the magnet was, and it literally will just snap into place. But what you can do is, because the magnets are there, you can actually move your card if it has moved to where it needs to be. So I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to come in with my mini glue dots, and I'm going to pop one on the back of each one of these. Don't worry if it moves or come off, because it will just go straight back down. You just need to find out which are the connecting sides first of all for your magnets. So again, even though you've just put that glue on, it still will move around. Then you're going to come in with your other piece, and just starting at one corner, you're just going to lay that straight on top of what you've just done. Checking everything is straight. Okay, so now if you take them apart, you've got your magnets on that side and nothing on that side. Again, just for being secure, I'm going to put a glue dot on the back of each one of these. Like so. I am then going to come in with some liquid glue, and you obviously want to join these two pieces together just to hide your magnets. So again, I'm just going around the frame, making sure you get in the corners. Turn it round. And what I actually thought is you could use one box, but because I'm actually going to put some patterned paper over the top, which again you don't have to do, you can just leave it plain. And again, all you're doing is, because you've actually got liquid glue on it now, you can actually line it up just a little bit better on them sides, making sure the corners are attached more than anything. Like so. You can make sure it works, which it does. Decide. I'm quite happy with it that way, actually. That clipped better for me. So that is going to be my front. And like I said, we're actually going to put some patterned paper on this one. So this is a Halloween paper. I've also got just a normal border that you could do. But I'll find some paper and I will be back to cut the frame. Hi guys, so we're back, and I've picked this paper because I've got Halloween, I've got a Christmassy one, and I wanted just something a bit just neutral for every day, really. So I found this that actually goes with the red really quite well. So your patterned piece needs to be 6 1/4 square. What you're going to do is you're going to line it up to the 3/8 of an inch on your board. So just coming in here, if you can see, so 3/8 of an inch there. You're then going to line your cutter up at 1 centimetre, and because it obviously finishes down here at 16, you're just going to go down to 15, like so. Again, just at that mark there, you're going to pop it in and come down to 15. And 3/8 of an inch again there, pop it up to the 1 centimetre and come down to the 15 centimetre mark. And this is the last time. So again, 3/8 of an inch, you're lining it up at 1 centimetre on this side, and you are cutting down to 15 centimetres, or until you can just feel that give. So again, don't panic like mine. It hasn't gone all the way through. All you need to do is take a little pair of scissors and just snip the corners, just to take that away. Don't pull it, because you'll end up with your corners all fraying about. So then you can take the middle bit out, and this pattern paper is what you're left with. So all we're going to do is pop that on top of there. I've given it just a really small border on the inside and a bigger border on the outside. So again, just come in with your liquid glue. And you're just going all the way around the edge. Like so. You're then going to have your paper that way. And again, because it's liquid, you can just wiggle it to where it needs to be. You're aiming for just a slight border of red. And when I say slight, I mean like a 1/16 of an inch. I didn't want it just to go straight onto from pattern to paper straight onto the picture, but I did want some patterned paper on there somewhere, like so. That is the front done, but now because you've got 3 layers, it's really quite solid, and that is your magnetic top. So we need some lights inside. So I have 2 different kinds of lights. I have these ones that are the flat ones. I also have these ones that are the round ones. And these ones are too big just to be put inside. So all I did for these lights is I got my hole punch, the trusted hole punch, popped it in this corner and did a hole, popped the hole through. That does then fit this through. I'll show you on this one. That then does fit that through there, and you can actually glue that in place in there and just turn it off and on by the back. But this time I'm actually going to glue this one in, and I think I'm going to have it, which way would be easiest to turn? That way. I'm just going to double side sticky tape that bit to there. if I can get it unwrapped. I don't even know where to start. Blimey. There we go. So I'm just going to unravel it. Like so. This one's a lot easier to unravel than the other one. I'm going to grab some double-sided sticky tape. I'm going to pop 2 bits on the back like so. Take that bit off, and then I'm also going to take that bit off, and I'm then just going to glue this in like so, just straight in like that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to start to wrap our lights around the edge, and all I've got for that is just some sellotape. I'm just going to grab a little bit at a time. I know there's no lights on this bit, so it doesn't really matter that much, but I'm just going to go round the edge. No one's going to see this inside bit except for you, and that's when you turn it off and on, or if you're going to give it as a present. So, and you can't actually see this messy bit when the lights are turned on. I am going to go round the back bit there, just like so. I'm not going to put any sticky tape on top of that, and you don't obviously want to be putting it on top of the actual light. But I'm going to make sure it stays in the corner. So I'm just wrapping it around like that, and I'm just going to keep going round and round and round till it's all gone, and then I'll be back. So we're back. I have managed to put the lights in all the way around, and I have used quite a bit of tape, but you don't actually want anything like these bits coming up like that bit has just done. So just come in again, and stick that bit down. Again, your frame fits over the top, nothing sticking out, your batteries work, everything's good. So then pop your picture in that you've laminated, your napkin. That will snap back on top, but we need something for it to stand up with. Now that one will stand up like that, but that's because the light mechanism is actually in the back. You can leave it like that and have it stood up just like that with no problem at all. But if you're using one of these lights, or you want to give it a little bit more security when it's actually up, you will need another bit of paper that measures. If you've cut your frame out of a 12 by 12, then I would just use the offcut of that, but I've just got 6.5 across here, but you don't actually need it to be that thick. And I have just got a bit of 11 3/4. Now on this, you just need to score at 5, 6.5 and 11.5. If you've done it out of 12 by 12, you will have an extra bit here, and that is what I had there. If you can see, I did have that extra bit, but it really doesn't matter, like I said, what you've got. So then we're just going to fold and burnish all of our score lines again. Before I close it together, I am going to put some double-sided sticky tape on. This will make it easier to attach to the back when this is put together, because I haven't done it as though you can just fold it flat. If you wanted to fold it flat, then you would just score in the middle there and just be able to fold it up. And then just take these off, like so. Take your sticky tape off at the top that you've got. Make sure that bit matches up to the top there, like so, and all the way across. Then what you need to do is just need to bring this in, have it stood up, have your hands in at the back, and just decide where you want it to be. So I can actually use my grid mat to go in the middle, and then all I'm doing is bringing my hand up, and then you can press in at the top where it needs to be, and it will just sit quite proud on the table like so. It just gives it a little bit of extras, just so it won't actually fall. Okay, so we can turn the lights on the inside, pop your little picture in, and there we go. See if I turn a light off, that it's actually a little bit better. I'll try turning the other one off as well and seeing if, oh, that's better. That's come up really well now on that. But then again, with Anne's absolute wonderful video, I am going to pop one of my gorgeous girls in like so, and then you can come back and magnetise the top for your picture. But you can obviously interchange them from, if you've got a birthday one to a Christmas one to an Easter one, anything like that, I thought would just be really good. And then you can actually, if you're going to do a few different frames, so what you can do is you can just keep this box and then just to make some different frames that are separate in sort of like Christmas papers, Halloween papers, birthday papers, and then it really, you can actually interchange your picture, but then you can actually interchange your frames as well. And on this one you could have some like poinsettias, some Christmassy bits, and then on your next frame you could have like an Easter, so you could have like an Easter chick and a couple of little Easter eggs. It really is endless now, thank you to Anne. So hope you enjoyed that one, guys, and I shall see you for the next one. Bye.